Hey YouTube, it's Petey Two Finger. Now somebody had given me this decade box, so we have modified it and repainted it. We're going to put three guitar pedal circuits inside of this, so there'll be an internal battery pack. This is going to be the batteries. There's only one in there right now. It's going to have a live on this little pallet here with some step down transformer to bust 12 volts down to 9, and then there's going to be an input and an output 1/4-inch jack in the corner in the back here, and then there'll be a big old honking, like, kind of looks like something you'd see at Bucky's rest stop, like a 12 volt panel mount weatherproof LED 12 volt switch for camping or a vehicle. So that'll turn it on. It's a 12 volt battery pack. There's three 18650 cells in here. So I will use a step down, and that'll ensure that there's 3 circuits in here. 2 of them are transistor, they're bias circuits, and they're looking to see 9 volts. Now the other circuit is an op amp, and that you can run at higher voltage and it'll actually be better for the audio. It'll give it something that's called more headroom. So I'm going to bust my 12 volts down to 9. This switch wants to see 12 volts for the LED, and then it'll go to a drop down which will send 9 to 2 of the transistor based boost circuits. It's going to be 3 boost circuits. And then the 12 volt coming off of the switch, it'll split. One line goes to a step down, which converts 12.5 down to 9. And then the other side of that split will just carry 12 volts over to the mid boost. So it's a treble boost, a mid boost, and a bass boost. For the treble boost, we have a Greg Frye treble booster. So this is this guy, he played in Queen, Brian May, and he would use a Rangemaster. Then like that kind of, I think he said that his roadie left it at a gig. So he had his dad build him one. His dad was an electronics guy, and I think they modified it for a little, not so much, like it cuts out so much of your signal, the Rangemaster. A lot of people, they'll take 2 capacitors on a knob, so you can kind of like adjust how much of your low end and your mid range you want the treble boost circuit to just eliminate. So that's one thing people do. They'll modify a Rangemaster. They'll put 2 instead of just the 1 capacitor. They'll have 2, and you can pick kind of which one you want. This one has more bass, more mid-range. We'll turn it over there a little bit, and that's how I always run them. I mod them and I run them all the way over, because cutting off all the frequencies doesn't work for me. So I would think that maybe when Brian May asked his dad to build him a treble booster, his dad would have said, "Would you like any modifications?" And he would have said, "Yeah. Have it not don't take away so much of my bass. Give me a little more in the bass and a little more on the mid range too." So the dad would go, "Okay," and he would lower the value of the input capacitor. And Bob's your uncle. So in '83, he stopped using his dad's and he started using a different treble booster built by this guy named Greg Frye. And that's what's going in here, the Greg Frye treble boost. Then we're going to use the, ever hear of Eric Clapton MiD-Booster? He's got a magic knob on his guitar. It's got a pedal circuit built into his guitar that you can't see. And it's a mid-range boost. And this company, Demeter, this German company, they make like little compressor pedals that are they're kind of like, you know, it's like $225 for a Demeter pedal. They're not cheap. They're German. They're supposed to be good. So they make this FAT control. And I built a couple of those, and man, do they sound phenomenal on a strat. They give you this strat sound. These circuits here, they're all really for strat. Single coil in the bridge. I've got a humbucker in my bridge, but lastly, so yeah, we've got the treble booster, we've got the mid-range booster, and then it's something called an EP boost, the EchoPlex Boost, that has a modified bass switch on it. So when you throw the bass switch, it gives you a little bit more bass. And this is a pedal I've run in conjunction with the treble booster a lot, and it makes up for the lost frequencies. Like your treble booster just kills all your mids and your lows. The EP boost will make that sound perfect. It's quite a combination. So then this mid boost is going to be, it's going to be like 3 boost pedals, and they're all 3 of them are tailored to different parts of the frequency response. So it'll have an internal battery. We have a little bit more headroom on the 112 volt circuit. Other than that, if anything comes up funky, like so far we've tested 2 out of the 3. We built all 3. I just didn't really connect the external wiring on the 3rd one yet. I got to connect that up, and then we'll run it through my test. I have a it's a little bed with a 9 volt and some clips, and you clip the wires onto it. There's some jacks. You plug the guitar in, plug the amp in, and then it breaks that stuff down into clips where you can clip onto the prototype circuits and test them. So yeah, probably 4 to 6 more days of working on this. I made this board here with a lot of extra room. I think I've got and this is glued on here really good. Maybe with a hammer, a chisel, or a spade screwdriver and a hammer, I could knock this one off of here, cut this down, make it a little smaller, or start over. I got all kinds of scrap wood here. I might want to have this sitting even lower, but the idea behind this wood is just to give me room to run some fastener screws in here. So I got to see how I do this. Maybe I'll just cut a new piece of wood and don't add the extensions. That would drop it down a little lower, because that's the only thing I'm worried about, is having stuff bump. It's like here I've got this bracket. I made I'm going to use automotive epoxy, and so let's see, is it this way? Yeah, I forget which way it goes on here, but the potentiometer is holding the circuit board. So I'll just run the nut for the potentiometer through here, and then it'll wire itself up to the, like I've already got the switching's all wired up, and the current limiting resistor for the LED. So it's like in, out, send, return, plus 9 and ground. And I will have a couple of buses. I'm going to use these strips, like here you can see there's red on one part and then black on the other. So there'll be ground wires. I can just attach all the ground wires to, all the positive wires will be in this section, all the ground wires will be in here. And I will use a what do you call that? coaxial wire on the input and output and in between probably. Usually the signal path I'll do with coaxial. So I could put a buffer in here. I could put 2 buffers in it. I think I would put a buffer on the input and have it bypassable. Right now there's the input and the output are on one side because it's going to be going in the effects loop of a MG30. I've got those pedal toppers, silver ones like brushed aluminum, so they'll be larger discs that you depress with your foot and there's less force to do them. And then there'll be 5mm metal LED bezels in here. This bottom row here, those are the LEDs. The switches will be here with the toppers. Here's your power switch. The master knobs are down here. And then there's a treble and it's a bright and a FAT switch is what it's called. And I got the longer for like the regular length toggle. I didn't get the stubby. Although if I was gonna do a buffer, I would put a hole in here. I would put a hole in here. See, we've already got holes over here. I would put another hole in here so there would be 2 input jacks. That buffer would sit in between them and you'd be able to bypass it and shut the power off of it. So more than likely there would be an additional, like a small LED, like a 3mm LED on the side probably, with some of those stubby switches on the side or probably on the side I'd put them, yeah, so you could see them. So if you're using this with an amp, you could turn the buffer on and plug in on the right and have the left continue into the amp and then come out and do your time-based effects after the preamp. This depends on how you want to do it, but for now that's how this thing is going together. We built the treble boost tonight. We got that finished and it works and it sounds really good. There was some mistakes in the I bought a PCB and it just wasn't right. It needed a different value potentiometer to get it to bias. It was off by 5K. So I got to give them a break, but we're also going to be waiting for the proper transistor coming. I've got a BC239, I think it is, transistor. It's supposed to go on this thing. There was a couple weird parts that I had to like special order that are coming for this. But the long and the short of it goes like this. right now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at 5 boards that are similar that I've made recently. Like this one is a treble boost that's called a Catalan bred Naga Viper. This is very similar to a Rangemaster. And then a Boss FZ2 op amp boost. The Boss fuzz pedal had a boost mode on it. This is a little different because the volume and the gain knob work on that Boss. When you went into boost mode, the volume knob didn't work, just boost and treble and bass. This is just the boost section because people have said that Boss FZ2 is the best boost in the world. So somebody made a pedal out of it, and that's what I got here. It's nice because it's this brings back some of the frequencies, the mids and the lows that are missing from using that. So it's like I'm using 2 pedals to do one job, to just give me a little more, make it sound better, and man, does it. I am getting such nice, good guitar tones with the new XMG30 and these boosts and running the EQs and the cabinet simulation, the impulse responses that I run. It really does sound good. So I'm super stoked. Even if, like, we've got 2 of them working. One of them doesn't have the right part in it yet. The third one we just haven't tested. It's built. So I'm going to be looking at basically 1 day for each effect, wiring it in there. 1 day doing the input and output in the power supply. So that's 3. That's 5 days. Because I like to, like, my wife will come home, she'll decompress, then she'll get on her laptop. So maybe an hour after she's been on her laptop, I can go, hey honey, would you mind if we did this for 3 or 4 hours, you know? Because it's supposed to be fun. I don't want to turn it into a 16-hour day where that's where I end up. Like, there's a limit to the quality of work you're going to get out of me. You know, after 4 hours, I can continue to work, but the quality of the work is going to go down. So, confidence is super high because no matter what, I've built like 5 of these already, and I know I can. It's just a matter of taking another day, putting a different board together, and popping that in there, and we can get what we can get. So this will be really nice because it's just a single, very sturdy unit. No nonsense. It's got a power switch. There's 3 pots, 3 switches, 3 LEDs, and 3 great sounding guitar boost circuits. So I hope you enjoyed me talking about my pedal boards again. This one, it honestly came up because a guy gifted me this Decade box, and when I looked at it, I just saw stomp switches. You know, I just saw like, this thing is made for you to make a multi-effect out of it, you know? And they're really basic circuits that are going in it, these boost circuits, but I love the way they sound, man. I love the way these things sound. So it's gonna take some time. Confidence is really high that these first 3 that I did are gonna end up being satisfactory in what stays in the unit. But it very well, you never know. It may, you know, take an extra week. So hopefully we'll be back soon with some music. We got a ton of new music. We went driving around in the area to places where we play and like cleaned up. And it's looking good. I can't wait to get out there and make some more music. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for popping in. Hug your pets. I yelled at Keita tonight. He was crying, and I had
before you yelled.
Huh?
He was crying before you yelled. You know.
He would not stop crying, and then I had the circuit that I built didn't work, and it was making all kinds of crackling and popping noises, and I was just seeing red, and he would not stop crying for food or something. Sometimes he just wants to cry, you know, just wants to be. He'll go like right out where you can't see him, but not an inch too far away, like right out of sight, and just cry, you know. And he was doing that tonight, and I was like, that's enough! Poor baby. So yeah, that's gonna. How long am I gonna beat myself up for doing that? Okay, you guys take care of yourselves, hug your pets, don't let them cry, and peace.